Ladies and gentlemen, inshallah we are going to have Honorable Minister Ms. Alexander.
Thank you so much. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And thank you, I guess I should also say welcome to this particular group. Thank you, all of you, for the invitation to be with you. Thank you to your imams, to the ulama of this institute and of all the masjids across Toronto and Durham, who are making many important statements these days, today and yesterday, and who have made many gestures of friendship and solidarity with their fellow Canadians after a week that moved us all, but has also brought us together as never before. I live in Ajax, represent Ajax Pickering. We had vigils in both the mosque I know best in Ajax and the Pickering Islamic Center in Pickering. We were together, all of us, Muslims, non-Muslims, Hindus, people of all faiths and backgrounds, on the bridges in Ajax, on our highway of heroes, to see the body of Corporal Nathan Cirillo return home. And we do these things together because we know what Canada is. We know how hard we have all, in this generation and in generations before us, had to work, had to sacrifice, had to show restraint, and find the right path to build the diversity and the strength that this society has almost in unique measure, almost in a measure greater than any other country we can point to around the world. Canada is not the way it is by accident. It is the way it is because of your contributions, because of the contributions of millions across our great city, the greater Toronto area, and generations that came before us. And that is why, for me, as your Minister of Citizenship and Immigration, it is such a matter of pride to be able to be with you for this celebration of Islamic History Month, for this celebration of the first day of Muharram, the Islamic New Year, for this celebration of huge contribution that Muslim communities from every part of the world have made to building Canada. And I would like you all to give yourselves a round of applause for that magnificent contribution. Many of you have your roots in Sri Lanka and in Malaysia. I have had the chance to visit at least Colombo and Jaffna, not every part of Sri Lanka, and Gaul. And as you know, Canada, as on so many issues, stands on principle when it comes to Sri Lanka for the human rights of all that country's citizens, for the minority rights of those whose suffering has been great in recent years in the Tamil areas in the north, and more recently, for the rights to pursue business, to live in peace, to be as successful as they have always been of the Muslim minority of Sri Lanka. We will stand up for those rights in Sri Lanka as we do everywhere in the world. And whether it is the Rohingya minority in Burma today, facing terrible depredations, facing the violence of Milosevic. Canada's role in international peace and security has always been clear. We stand for the inviolability of borders, we stand for non-interference of one state in the affairs of another, and we stand for human rights and democracy and freedom, and we will always stand for those things. Am I right? I am delighted by the performance of Muslim Canadian immigrants from every part of the world. There are a few categories of backgrounds that have been more successful than our Arab Canadians, than many from South Asia, than many from other parts of the world where Islam is practiced. And that is what has brought them to Canada. We have an immigration system that is based on talent, that is based on language ability, education, and experience in occupations that are relevant to our economy. Those are the criteria that we set out in the window to draw people to Canada, and those are the merit-based principles that have brought so many Muslims to Canada, and that will continue to bring many Muslims to Canada. But we are living in a world of change, enormous opportunity, perhaps more opportunity in Canada than anywhere else, but there's opportunity to move ahead in many parts of the world, beyond dictatorship, beyond conflict, and then there are some parts of the world that are held back by ideology, by threat. We as a country must do our part to make sure the opportunity grows and the threat is diminished. I spent 6 years, as was mentioned, as I came up here in Afghanistan. And none of you, anyone here from Afghanistan? Probably not. I have some colleagues who were Sri Lankans that work for me there, and many Canadians obviously as well. It's hard to make sense of those 12 years when we were there. There's a lot of misinformation, there's a lot of misunderstanding about what occurred. But let me give you the basics. 2 million children were in school when we started, 8 million children are in school now. 40% of those children are girls. Let's have a round of applause for that. And that is the cause of Malala Yousafzai, and that is the cause of Canada, and that is one of the measures of accomplishment. Now, yes, there is still a conflict. There is still a force called the Taliban. In my view, very little to do with Islam, everything to do with geopolitics and violence. But I went back to Afghanistan 2 weeks ago, ladies and gentlemen, for the inauguration of a new president of that country. And guess what? Afghans, after 2 rounds of voting, have elected by democratic means a very talented individual, born in Afghanistan, deep family roots there, PhD from Columbia University, 15 years in the World Bank, leadership roles at the Kabul University and across the board. They have chosen someone who will be able to move their economy forward, to pursue historic settlements with their neighbors, and pursue development and opportunity for all in that country. And he's able to do that because Canadians sacrificed, Canadians invested, and Canadians persevered over 12 years to give Afghanistan that opportunity. We should be proud of the contribution you all made. Now, the story is not so great, as we all know, in Syria and Iraq. And here, 2 great countries, ancient civilizations, deserve to regain control of their own destinies. But to do that, they need to move beyond the shadow of terrorism. They need to move beyond these groups that are dedicated certainly not in this country, not because of political organizations, but mostly because of the internet. And that's where we have to take care. Because as an open society, as a connected world, we don't want to wall ourselves off from information. We don't want to wall ourselves off from what's going on in the Middle East or anywhere else, but we must protect our children, we must protect our communities from the virulent ideology that is the so-called Islamic State in Iraq and the Levant, and we must do everything we can to keep Canada safe from terrorism. I know that is your commitment as much as it is mine. And so, we celebrate our diversity. We celebrate our immigration. We celebrate a foreign policy that is actually more respected in the world because of its consistency than it has ever been. But today, with you, ladies and gentlemen, I want to celebrate the contribution to world civilization that is Islam, the contribution to Canada's success and vibrancy as a country that is our Muslim Canadian community, and the commitment that I know all of you have to keeping this country together as it gets bigger than ever, to making our diversity work as we have new groups coming in this country who've never been here before. We now have groups coming from Iraq. We've had 20,000 refugees who settled from Iraq in just 5 years. And the numbers are growing from Syria for obvious reasons. Many of these communities had no mosque in their tradition, had no imam from their city here before. They deserve to feel as welcome here as any immigrant who has come before them. And your gesture in coming together today to celebrate Canada's Islamic history, to celebrate the contribution of Sri Lankans and South Asians of all backgrounds to this great country is a mark of how warm that welcome remains and how determined we as Canadians still are to do our duty to each other as neighbors, helping those more vulnerable than ourselves, helping those who haven't had the benefit of education or a stable family, helping them to find their way and helping them to feel part of that greater Canadian family that we are so proud to belong to, all of us. Thank you so much for being here today, and thank you for making the celebration so meaningful. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister Salazar. And I just like to say one thing to you. As you've seen all those organizations in there, and without any doubt, I can vouch for you that all the things what we do, we are doing to bring our kids to be good citizens of this country with the Islamic principle and to integrate with this society, as well as provide as much as resources and as much as to be an asset to this country. And without any doubt, I can say that all our organizations, inshallah, the Sunday schools, all the programs which we will be talking about to you later, we do have almost 20 programs throughout the calendar year. And then all these things we are doing with one objective is to bring good citizens of this country to the principles of Islam, inshallah. And as a mark of token, I'm calling about Sayyid Mubarak. He is our president for Masjid al-Taqwa, the first masjid which was bought by the Sri Lankan community, to give a small token of appreciation for you to being here in your valuable time. And without any doubt, I am sure I can speak on behalf of this, all the brothers and sisters who are here. We thank you with our heart, and we thank you again for coming. Thank you very much.
I just want to say thank you for including me again. Thank you for this gift. Let us give ourselves one challenge, though. I've been your Minister of Citizenship and Immigration for just over 1 year, 1 year and a few months. I go to citizenship ceremonies with many of you and your families where we see how strong our immigration is, how strong our citizenship is, and by the way, it's getting faster. It will soon be 1 year again to process citizenship applications. But to be a representative of this country, an elected representative of the whole country, to be a Minister of Multiculturalism, as Jason Kenney is, and I think to be at one's best as a Canadian citizen, one has to understand the traditions, the faith of all the major groups in this country. And so let us give ourselves one task, because I grew up in the city of Toronto, in a non-Muslim family, where very little was taught about Islam in our schools. Let us give ourselves the task of ensuring that every citizen, certainly in the GTA, and ultimately of all Canada, comes to a correct, a rich, and a full understanding of the contributions of Islam to world history and to today's world. That is probably one of the best contributions Canada can make to our own future and to the peace and security of the world. Thank you.